Greetings, friends! Welcome back to the Messed Up Movies Podcast, the podcast celebrating movies and filmmakers that embrace the insane, the outrageous, the unhinged, the off-kilter, and the all-around kind of messed up fun. Producer Nick can't take his eyes off it. You can't see him. It's not worth the camera, so we left him off. I'm your host, Griffey, joined as always by friends and co-host Sam and Heath. Welcome back to the show, guys. So today, we are excited. We are talking about the new Toxic Avenger. You might remember Alex and I just did the original Toxic Avenger not long ago. Go find that. So the big news this week, guys, we just got back from Genre Blast. I picked up this swaggy hat. Is that what the kids say? Swaggy?
I don't know anymore.
Swaggy hat. I just got a swaggy hat. What an absolute blast to get to see Sugar Tits on the big screen for the last time. We saw so many insane movies, right? As the Messed Up Movies Podcast, I was so appreciative of how absolutely fucking insane those movies were.
Oh, yeah. Especially our block, the one that we
we're always in the Midnight Freak Show block.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And, dude, you guys missed the Virginia locals, but their movies were...
Oh, I saw
shorts.
a few.
Oh, yeah,
they were great.
Yeah, they were great, man.
Yeah, I was hungover from getting hammered in the parking lot till 4 a.m. every night. So that was another fun experience.
Yeah, Griffey took the other definition of messed up all the way.
Yeah,
I was just messed up.
Yeah, you know what's really messed up? I think the Alamo Draft House probably funded that whole film festival on just my bar tab. Because I was too lazy to walk back to the hotel and get beers. But it was a blast. It was incredible to see all of our friends. We were talking to them. Hopefully a lot of them will come and be interviewed on the show here because they're very talented. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Genre Blast is the best festival we've been in so far. Always have fun there. So thank you to the Genre Blast peeps, who I'm sure all subscribe and are on the Patreon and all that good stuff. Speaking of that, you should be on Misfit Parade's YouTube channel and on the Messed Up Movies Podcast Patreon page, the best way to support this. If you're into Alien Earth, Dan Dino and I are breaking that down episode by episode, which has been a blast. All right, so we're here to talk about the 2025 Toxic Avenger. Is it Macon or Mason Blair?
Macon Blair.
Macon Blair. Yep. Wrote and directed. Peter Dinklage now the titular Avenger, right? We've got Elijah Wood. We've got Kevin Bacon.
Ooh, I like that title, the titular Avenger.
The titular Avenger. That could be a movie we make.
That's something we'd make.
I have to say, Troma coming out with the new Toxic Avenger, right? It was met with a lot of controversy as it came out. Was once deemed unreleasable.
So this has been on the shelf for, 2 years?
Yeah, it was made in 2023.
Yeah, so it was, I remember it premiered at South by Southwest 2023, I believe. A lot of buzz, and then crickets. Just nothing happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, the rumor was it was unreleasable.
Yeah.
So that's my first kind of... Maybe we could get into that.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever say why it was unreleasable?
Well,
to me, that just reads that it's not good.
Or it's not finished?
The implication was that it was so messed up, which is why I thought this was like, okay, when Toxic Avenger finally comes out.
Oh, it was like so crazy they couldn't put it in.
Right, exactly.
Even though we've seen Terrifier 3 and
that it was so gory. Well, again, so Cineverse, the upstart studio that has released the Terrifier films, is the one that eventually acquired Toxic Avenger and put it out as a Toxic Avenger unrated.
Yes.
So that was the thought behind the fact that it was unreleasable, that they couldn't get a rating from the MPAA, that it was so gory, so just out of pocket, was not releasable. How do you feel now, having seen it and judging it against that
kind of hype?
Yeah.
It almost played like a marketing move, right? Yeah. Like, this is so fucking wild.
I think it probably was.
I'll let you take this, Sam.
Well, so I had read an article about how people were so disturbed that they were walking out of the theaters. And I was like, what kind of people?
They brought in like
who
a
the hell
women's
walked
choir,
out of this theater? Yeah, because if you think about it, man, if you're going to go see the Toxic Avenger, you know what it is.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Which is crazy, because I do feel like Toxic Avenger has been kind of like sanitized, like he was a comedy superhero movie. If you go back and watch that first one, it's disturbing, right? They murder a dog. The bullies in that movie just run over kids and take Polaroids of their splattered brains on the road.
I watched
He puts a little woman in a laundry mat and then puts her in a shirt press and like grilled cheese.
Yeah, but you know why he did that, right?
Because she's a white slaver.
She's a slaver, yeah.
Yeah, she's a white sex slaver.
I rewatched it this morning in preparation for this, and thinking back to it, even last night I was like, man, it was kind of a kid's movie. Or at least I remember it being that way.
So he said this.
Yeah.
This is the kind of horror movie I could watch with the kids.
So this isn't even a horror film. What I'm wondering
No, and if you look at it on Letterboxd, it's listed as action, sci-fi, comedy.
Legendary was the studio that co-produced this. Legendary of the Godzilla movies, of most of the earlier Nolan era DC films. Mm-hmm. So they put out, I think, the Dark Knight trilogy. They were involved in the Man of Steel. So they know how to make superhero movies.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this was an attempt to do an adult naughty superhero, like maybe they were attempting something like The Boys,
100
or something like that.
Yeah.
So you have this weird dynamic where it hits all of those beats of a superhero origin story that is more or less family friendly structure.
Yeah.
And layering in this, Troma.
It's kind of a comedy aesthetic that Troma has.
Yeah. This comedic Troma bent to it, where you have a lot of gore and just honestly a lot of juvenile humor.
Yes. That is the Troma hallmark.
But of course, it's all going to end up being rated R because it's too extreme to be a 4-quadrant, superhero movie. So I don't know what they were thinking when they made this, because it feels like it has no true audience.
Well, I do think the thing I was most impressed by, because the Troma unrated, or the Toxic Avenger unrated, I think is kind of a crock of shit. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if this is the 20th most wild movie I've seen this year.
Yeah.
Like, think back to just Bring Her Back, right? That lady chewing on a fucking knife. Like, this movie doesn't have a scene in the whole movie that I was like, it's so extreme. Yeah. So, to me, it's like, I think I went in thinking it would be more of that kind of raunchy, hard edge, like really wild, out of hand violence. It is funny because what I found, and I do think it really did capture the Troma spirit, right? Which I appreciated. Because I was a Troma kid growing up. What I think this movie did so much better, I think the violence is actually, I don't know if this is sacrilegious, but the lamest part of the movie, because so much of it is just kind of like low-level CG violence.
It's very, very cartoonish.
It is. It's silly. Like, none of it's like, it has no teeth, right? But what I think this movie nailed, which I was unprepared for, the first one, again, is just so ruthless and mean. I love the first act of this movie. The first act of this script is the best thing Troma's ever had in the whole world. Like, the first 25 minutes of this movie, up to him getting dumped in the vat, right, with the mop, is incredible. And Dinklage is fucking incredible.
Well, that's probably the only reason they got Dinklage was because of the first act. He read that and was like, it's pretty freaking good.
It's a Troma movie that is more worried about having an actual human heart at the core of the story, which is not what they do.
Well, it's actually the only time we're seeing Dinklage. We hear his voice, but when the Toxic Avenger emerges, that is not Peter Dinklage. That's played by a different actor. But before we unpack the first act, I'm still interested in, how this movie came to be. How I'm wondering, like, was it intended to be more of a 4-quadrant style, like, franchise starter, and they spent too much money on it, and then they realized, oh shit, this is actually too violent and never going to be PG-13, and now it just sits in this uncanny valley, this no man's land of we don't know what to do with it. So I'm wondering if Legendary thought this would actually be a better write-down, like what Warner Brothers was doing with a few of their movies, like Batgirl and the Coyote versus Acme
versus Coyote.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, this isn't necessarily for the hardcore Troma fans, because I mean, it's pretty. I feel like it's more akin to the cartoon show that they did.
Yes, the Toxic Crusaders.
The Toxic Crusaders. It fits in better with that than it does the original Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have that edge for the Terrifier crowd. And it's definitely too over the top for families. So
I think it's that kind of audience like us, right? Guys that just like going and seeing horror, sci-fi, genre stuff, right?
And depending on what you spend on it,
it's a comedy more than any other genre element. Yeah.
Yeah. But even the humor was just very juvenile. I don't know that it played around with some satire that I kind of appreciated, like little things like Kevin Bacon's character, right?
Yeah,
it's like that guy that wants to try to live forever. And
he's essentially Sharon Stone's character from Catwoman.
Yeah,
right. Who just invents makeup that makes her face rock hard, and that's why she can fight Catwoman.
Yeah,
I did like that he was super into the Toxic Avenger, he's a beautiful beast.
Well, and it had all this commentary on like modern corporate culture.
It was it reminded me of RoboCop a little bit.
It had some RoboCop elements.
RoboCop, I think, is exactly the demo they're trying to hit.
But
RoboCop has real hard violence.
Yeah.
This does not. This is
or another Verhoeven movie like Starship Troopers.
Yes,
like
but I think this is cotton candy flavored beer.
But it's not any more violent than Starship Troopers.
No, that's the thing. The violence, because I guess someone will listen to this and say, well, they killed like fucking 20, 50 people. There was the only scary moment in this where I was like, wow, that's violent, was when the guy threw the cat out in front of the SUV. Yeah, I was like, are we going to watch a fucking cat get run over? Which you would in the original.
Yeah.
And then in this one, you're like, oh, it's like that. And even when he kills the juggalos, it's like, cartoon mouth off, electrocution. Some guy kills himself by doing parkour. I was like, oh. Because I'm with you. I did expect some of that. And I think this is something that maybe I'm just snobbish about. If this movie had done over-the-top practical effects for everything, I think maybe it pleases that audience a hair more.
I think so.
The CG violence never does it for me. And a lot of movies do that. It's not the Toxic Avenger.
I didn't have an issue with the CG violence for aesthetic's sake. That didn't have much of an impact on me because I felt like it blended well with the rest of the overall tapestry of the film.
Yeah, I thought visually it was so much better than I imagined it to be. It really did have a style and a thing.
But you're right, it doesn't have that same visceral punch to where to me,
that's where the edge comes out.
Yes.
You don't feel this movie. There's a scene in the diner, right, where he punches into a guy's butthole and you see a hairy man's ass and his arm going for it. And I was like, yeah, dude, I want to see that go all the way up and out the throat. And it's just kind of gone in a blink, right? Yeah. That's kind of this movie writ large, which is, and I think that's the thing. This is the tale of two movies. They went away from just the bullied guy who they play as maybe mentally deficient, right? Who gets bullied and everyone's a murderer and a criminal. And, it's very, he starts dating a blind girl and all of a sudden she's wearing Pocahontas stripper outfits and shit. It's bizarre. And this one went with a tale of Dinklage married this lady. She dies of cancer. A lot of people are dying of cancer in this town. And now he's the single stepdad to this kid who's going through it. And when the movie started, there was something about Dinklage's performance. I was like, God, it's such an odd tone and tenor he's getting. I was so fucking captivated by what he's doing. And again, those two together, I was like, holy shit, they did it. I was like, this movie is going to fucking rip. Yeah. And I do think that that going with the heart first, I think that's a microcosm of this movie, right? Which is we're all expecting the Terrifier-esque remake of the Toxic Avenger, this dark, Spawn, right? That kind of a superhero movie.
Yeah.
And it's not. It is just a father-son tale, right? It's this tale of family and what does it mean and what do we fight for and getting sick and losing people.
I thought it
which
even
I actually
had
thought was great.
Some Raimi heart from the Spider-Man series. It felt very PG-13, which is not a criticism.
Well, the town felt like a superhero town.
Yeah, I love the world building they were doing. Yes. And the heart of the character
They had all these
building.
Homages to the old Troma universe, which was great.
Yeah, it was very good. I was surprised. It just... I'm still trying to square that with this marketing push of it being unrated and unreleasable.
I think if they didn't put the unrated on, none of this factors in. It was just a really fucking fun night at the movies.
Yeah.
Which is great, and it's not the movie I expected because I was expecting this whole fucking I gotta be prepared for the Toxic Avenger, and then it is a cartoon. It's a cartoon movie.
Mm-hmm. So, dude, the original Toxic Avenger opens up with the bullies, which are just random people. So there's not a big... I feel like this movie's too huge. It's the health crisis of the entire country, this big corporation. In the original movie, it was just a gang of kids, and they're big...
Well, they were doing dirty, dumping deals, the big fat mayor. Right? So he was doing deals on the side, and that's how the Toxic came up.
So it was the mayor, but it's not like a corporate CEO taking over the planet.
The original plays more like a Smokey and the Bandit size thing.
It's a small town thing.
It's kind of like small town power grab.
But the bad guys were more terrifying in the original because they're just normal dudes, and the movie opens up with them playing a game where they have to hit people to get points.
Yeah.
And they find a little kid that's riding a bike, and they hit him, and then they... don't kill him completely, so they run over his head in reverse, and it's that's dark.
And then they get out and take Polaroids of the brain splatter.
Exactly.
And the lady goes to the gym locker room and fingers herself to them. And you're like, holy
shit. So that is messed up.
That's what I expected this Toxic Avenger to be. But Sam, what did you make of, because you're not per se an emotionally available person.
How dare you?
not to be rude, I feel like you look at everything like kind of how, like it would be like banging a calculator if I was married to you. A bad one. Not like a Texas Instrument. You know what I mean? Like the ones that are on portfolios.
Wow, dude.
What did you make of the father-son edition? This is such a wildly different take on the Toxic Avenger.
I felt like well, in all seriousness, I liked it. But in comedy, I felt like the kid was a little piece of shit, kind of.
He's a teenage kid who lost his mom. He's struggling.
Yeah, so maybe
I thought they came together at the end nicely.
I mean, yeah. And I thought Jacob Tremblay did a good job. But I just didn't...
I feel like the last time I saw him, he was getting sucked on in Dr. Sleep. You know what I mean?
He was
the little
getting
baseball
murdered.
kid.
Yeah. I felt like he could have been a little more appreciative.
Well, yeah, we're old now. We're not young kids.
Little kid.
Yeah.
As a person who's had...
Like, Peter Dinklage seemed pretty freaking
As a
cool.
person who's had a stepfather in life, I think that's very much how kids react.
Yeah. So it seemed realistic in this.
Also,
in this
you
crazy
have to
world.
have some sort of conflict in that dynamic. I thought it was fine.
How about when the kid tries to do his audition and he fucking stubs it, and Peter Dinklage was like, yeah, your mom was such a beast on stage, but she was not a good bass player.
Yeah.
And he put the tutu on and he's like, watch my moves. I was just like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
dude. That was so endearing.
Well, and he had just found out he's dying, right?
Yeah,
So-
and he found out he has a brain thing from working at this place. But again, that's what I was sitting in the theater and I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe
It was great.
how much I was buying into it. I think the weird thing about this, which is almost the exact inverse of the original, is that I found myself less invested when the Toxic Avenger came.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that's when it kind of gets into this shenanigan and CG blood and this and that. And some of it's great. But I felt like that first act, I was like, oh my God. And then it almost gets completely murdered
Yeah.
by becoming like a superhero.
You wanted to just see Peter Dinklage's life, kind of.
Yeah, I just thought he was... And again, there were a couple minutes there I was like, oh, I don't like this performance at all. Like at the very start, it was like almost like a weird like off-tempo prog rock kind of thing. Like the beat of it was just weird. And I wasn't settling into it. But then, yeah, man, he completely won me over.
Yeah.
Like that's why you get a Peter Dinklage.
The like log line I don't like that much though. Where they're like, sometimes you just have to do something. I'm like, well, yeah, when you're a superhero. Like that's
Well, so
such
you're
a
like, that's
bullshit
just
thing.
life.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he didn't have to be a superhero. You know, he was...
That's true. He could have been a super
Well,
villain.
I think they were playing against, and again, the Dinklage thing, right, is that when they watched that guy shake down Daisy's bodega or whatever, he had, and I thought that was like a brilliant use of the casting, which is like him as a little person, right, having to go over and like what, like tough talk or get his ass beat by these, fucking bullies. And that was the one where I was like, this son is fucking wild for this.
Dude.
But he's just like, you could have done something. He's like, you are a foot taller than me. What?
That's what I was saying. I was
What
like,
the
Tremblay,
fuck?
you're way bigger.
Yeah, Tremblay,
Why
why
didn't
don't
you
you
do
fucking
anything?
do something?
Or why didn't any of the 20 other people standing around do anything? Why did Tremblay be like, hey, my dwarf dad, why didn't you do something?
Because it's the Gotham aesthetic, right? That
Yeah.
the whole town is so fucking overrun with bad stuff that no one does anything until Dinklage eventually does.
Yeah, that's part of his arc.
Yeah.
He's a coward until he goes through this...
I don't even think he's a coward. Like that's a reason. Like if
He's
I
just
watched-
realistic,
If I was
yeah.
watching Dave Bautista in his prime shake someone down, I'm not going to be like, "This is my job." I'd be like, "Is anyone else going to help me here? We're going to fucking
Well,
team up
I
with
guess
this guy." Like, what the fuck?
he's a coward in the eyes of his son.
yeah,
of
in his son,
stepson.
who's not doing shit except for motion dances.
Well, and also his son's not that brave either. He like ran off the stage. He'd been like,
Well,
why didn't you stay on the stage, Tremblay?
That's what that dynamic is. The son is projecting.
We
He's
hate-
looking for a
yes.
role model.
We hate traits in other people that we fear we have ourselves.
Gotcha.
That's what they say.
All right.
So maybe I'm afraid I'm emotionally unavailable. That's why I made
That's
the
probably why,
calculator
you
remark.
bash
I'm
on
sorry,
me.
Sam.
Yeah.
I'm a
And you hate
calculator,
math,
too.
apparently.
I'm a calculator. Too.
I also found that scene where he confronts Kevin Bacon. He finds out that he has cancer. Really funny scene in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
he's-
the doctor was great.
Yeah, where he
That was one
learns
of the most trauma
horrible
scenes
news.
in the movie. And then as he's like, you have, and it was like,
Yeah,
and the guy's in the background, and every scene is like, you fucked up now. Like, that was
You
such
did
a
it again.
classic trauma comedy beat. But yeah, so he goes home, and he's drinking some beers, and he's trying, and again, that's why it sells, is because he's trying to make the kid okay and comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And then, to your point, he goes and finds Kevin Bacon. It's like, he'll fix it. He's still wearing the tutu and shit. And I thought Bacon sold that scene great.
So he sneaks into a gala
Mm-hmm.
where Kevin Bacon is a guest of honor or something. And what's the company? It's
BTH.
BTH. Body Talk
Yeah.
Health.
Body Talk Health? Or something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
So it's almost like Lily. Eli Lilly here in Indianapolis. And
could we become Toxic Avengers from Eli Lilly?
Possibility.
That'd be cool.
Just get a job as a janitor.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you guys,
dog.
if I see toxic waste, I'm jumping in it. I just haven't seen it yet.
What would you turn into?
It'll thicken up your thingy there,
Yeah, it'll
Sam.
thicken that hog.
Oh.
But you'll be radioactive.
Probably have to pee even more.
Yeah. Radioactive pee. Oh, Sam shooting radioactive pee.
Oh, he does have... that was pretty cool, the alien blood pee.
Yeah, alien blood pee.
That's how he escaped, too.
But yeah,
anyways.
If there was something in this movie, I think that was when the Act 2 started to, like, lose me a little bit, because they force in this girl who's also, like, hacking BTH, right?
Yeah.
And her mentor dying in the first scene, which was pretty funny, right? That was all cool. But it just kind of felt like then we were going through these, like, plot machinations, and we lost that beautiful thing that was happening in Act 1. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because then we add, like, there is funny beats. Like, he goes out in the woods, and that guy's, like, losing his shit. And then he takes the girl back out there to save her, and he's like, I'm not a doctor. And she comes over, and she's like, hey, there was some guy in the woods huffing Jankum who said you saved my life. The guy in the woods was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
He was incredible. So I thought that part was fine. What did you make of the Toxic costume and how they used the character?
I thought it fit in well with just the entire world. Right off the bat, that scene you were talking about where it's the journalist and he has the information about the company that is, poisoning society, right?
Yeah.
And we introduce our other protagonist who has stolen the information somehow. Just right away, what they're doing with the production design, the sets, the lighting. I mean, it was pulling from a lot of like my cinematic catnips. I was seeing, and very 80s inspired too. It wasn't so much Troma because Troma doesn't have any budget to put together, that kind
Troma's
of,
essentially like comedy porno.
right? That kind of artwork. But what it was doing, it was taking from Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
It was taking from probably like the Schumacher Batman films.
Mm-hmm.
The lighting, right?
Yeah.
Well, the
lighting
BTH factory for sure. That's like a
Yeah.
Tim Burton's Gotham thing.
Right. Definitely. Oh, what was the one I was just thinking of? RoboCop. You said RoboCop. A lot of influence story-wise too.
Just the
from
80s
RoboCop.
in general, kind of.
Yeah. So that was all really clicking, and it felt right for the world. And I think the costume fits in with that too.
Yeah, I actually really liked the design of the costume. I liked how they added the eye that he can pull out.
Yeah.
I thought it just looked good. I liked the kind of iridescent lines in the suit.
See,
I thought it looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The mop, not my favorite.
The mop was kind of lame. I'm gonna kind of disagree with you
I wish
on
it was
that.
a real mop.
I thought that the suit looked cool. He looked like a Marvel superhero. But I think the thing that after rewatching the first one, the thing that I thought looked really cool was I don't like the green skin. I like the human colored skin. It makes it, and he kind of looked more like...
He's kind of grayish.
He's kind of like, yeah, but he looked less cartoonish. Less, like a Disney character.
Well, who's the guy?
If you drop that in this movie, that would look so bizarre.
Who's the guy in Goonies?
Sloth.
Sloth. The Toxic Avenger looks a lot like Sloth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this one, he has to fit the aesthetic of the world, which is this very, like,
all colorful,
high color, saccharine world that he's in.
Given all the CGI, I didn't notice too much CGI modifications on the suit itself. I feel like that was all very practical.
Yeah, I thought so
Yeah,
too.
there definitely weren't, because if you notice, they would cut like when you actually put the eye back in. Like anytime you would need to have the CGI do anything.
Yeah,
I thought it looked good. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked the Toxic suit. Another thing in the movie that was losing me a hair. What did you guys think of the bad guys? The Killer Nuts Band.
I loved the bad guys.
I like the dude that flipped all the time.
That was hilarious.
I was like, why is this guy just flipping?
That's the microcosm to me of this whole movie. It's like a joke that outstays its welcome.
Yeah.
I think this movie gets a little crowded with. We have the Telly Savalas gangster.
Yeah.
We have Kevin Bacon. We have Kevin Bacon's side piece. We've got Fritz, right? Elijah Woods.
Yeah.
And then we got all the killer nuts. I don't know that there's enough for any of them to do. Like, the killer nuts to me were the one I would have doubled down on.
Really? How interesting are they, though?
Well, I mean, in the
They're
movie,
henchmen.
I would argue none of them become interesting, but they're the ones I thought could... Like, I like the giant chicken guy.
Yeah.
The lead singer being, like, a clear kind of juggalo thing.
Yeah.
And them having a concert to play, I was like, this is all really fun. And it all kind of, like... And Fritz never really does much, right? Kevin Bacon... eventually, right? Like the storyline.
Well, he's basically the Ronnie Cox character from RoboCop.
Yes, exactly, right? But he's kind of also underneath the gangster. The gangster's the one I was like, I would have immediately thrown that out. That didn't help the movie very much. And it's, again, just like another bad guy to get in the way. And so the story is, right, is they make this Toxic Avenger. They see all the power. And because he comes out and is like, you know, BTH is doing whatever, they want to harness him and get this mutation. This will be his new, like, supplement scam that he's going to run on everyone, right? And so they start harvesting Toxie, and eventually Kevin Bacon turns into like a worse version of the Krampus in Red One, which was insane. Maybe one of the just wildest fucking choices. Like, why he doesn't look like a Toxic Avenger, but looks like a mall Krampus
that
is
was
crazy to me.
Pretty random.
It was so great, because even the girl who got a couple drops, when she turned around, I was like, she looks like a Toxic, you know, like side piece, right? That's fine. Why on earth do you think they made Kevin Bacon
I
the
don't
Krampus?
know. I was wondering that too. There had to be a reason. It's probably set up if you go back. I mean, why that specific of a choice?
That's what I mean. It was so weird, because I thought he was just going to be a big mutant, like Dinklage.
Well, there was something about sheep, though. Wasn't he like a sheep guy?
Oh, he's a wolf amongst the sheep.
There was some kind of there's some sort of sheep imagery.
But he turned into a goat.
Yeah, but he's a Krampus because he has goat horns.
Yeah.
Right? He's not really
I
like
think
a wolf.
it's there. I would just need to go back and dig it out.
I will say this. It was a movie I was not farming for context a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe it was there.
I think that's more to the point.
I think that one was another choice that I was like, man, that just didn't work for me. But Kevin Bacon was so fucking good. Like, he was so good. Like, it felt like a role he phoned in, and he's just so good that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I thought he was great.
He was really well cast. I thought the casting was excellent. I loved everybody. That
Elijah Wood was great. I wish he would have had more run in the movie. I think that's the thing, is the movie got so big and crowded in the second act, and there wasn't any characters I didn't like. I just wanted more from all of them. But we couldn't do more because we had to do Toxic Avenger.
It was pretty long, like an hour and 45.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. It didn't feel long. Like it flew by.
Definitely didn't.
But that was one of those movies I was like, this is a classic. Like, when you have second act fights that have to happen and this and that. I feel like we lost a lot of that story stuff. Which, again, I can hear people online cussing me right now that I'm asking for story from the Toxic Avenger. How dare I? But again, I don't think
you're sounding like me, dude.
I don't think any of that extreme violence paid off. Yeah. So what am I supposed to sink my teeth into in the second half of the movie?
And I think it was pretty paint by numbers. I mean, it was like the Ghostbusters plot. You know, it was like the RoboCop.
Yeah.
Like I've seen this all so many times.
Yeah.
That it wasn't enough to have just kind of like wild kills that weren't that wild. I'd say probably the point that was the. And again, you've seen it before too, but that little
and the political commentaries, like Facebook posts from people, you know, like none of it's like getting into
the satire.
anything.
The satire
I felt like,
is pretty light.
Yeah, like in the original one, they had very little of that. It seemed like they had a Richard Nixon poster in the mud, or a book in the mud.
Well, the cop is like a secret Nazi.
Well,
right, he keeps doing that.
But that's like a broad.
But again, I think what they do is they give these really small caricatures, like a thing, and you're like, oh, there's Nazi subtext. Oh, there's this and that. This one is trying really hard to say something that it never really says. It's trying really hard to do this like emotional story that gets completely drowned out. And again, it's like, it's a weird movie for me because it's fun the whole time. I never like checked out and wasn't into it. But I do feel like this is one, and I think we had this debate last night, is like, this was not a movie theater movie to me. This was one that, like, if it dropped on Screenbox, I'd be like, oh, fuck, Toxic Avenger. And if I turned it on with no expectations, I would have been like, oh, that was a fun time on my couch. It did feel pretty weak for a theater movie to me. I'm not one of those people that every movie you have to see in the theater. I think streaming is awesome. And I wish I could rent movies in my house same day for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, there are some movies that the theater makes better. There are some it doesn't. This one, for me, felt like something I should have just streamed in my underwear.
Is that because of the production value or just the storytelling?
I think it's just,
I was surprised by
like, you've ever been to the gas station and like your kid wants to, well, my kids, they always want to buy these things that's like toxic sludge and it comes in a toilet. And you're like, why would you put that in your body? Like, what value is that? And they're like, it's fucking awesome. That's what this movie to me was. It's candy that comes in a fucking toilet and it's like extreme sour. And then, like, you eat it and you're like, okay, I did that.
See,
to me, there was nothing cinematic about this movie. And I think it was the CG. Okay. I think it was the fucking lack of...
I thought it was really well shot.
No, I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm saying, like, the violence wasn't fun. The fights were pretty middle of the road, right? Like, there was nothing... I think it's a big movie that, to me, feels hollow. It's like going to an old Wild West set town. And it's like, here's facades of buildings, and on the back, it's just fucking jacks holding it up.
Right.
Like, that's what this movie was to me. It felt like a stream... Like, if this was on Screambox, I think that's where I would have preferred to watch it.
But it still had that great opening act. That
it did have that
did
great
bring
that,
act,
it did look really... I thought it sounded good. Like,
I don't know what point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Cinematically speaking. Maybe you've infected me with your...
movies dude, out of, like, the last 3 movies we've seen, I feel like this one deserves it more than... I guess more than... Stiggs, whatever the fuck that means.
Jimmy and Stiggs. Yeah. See, Jimmy and Stiggs, I thought was more of a sensory abuse thing that was made better by the theater.
Okay, I could see that too.
This one felt like
I'm one of the every movie should be in theaters, but
you're one of those.
But you should adjust the prices.
This one I thought had a lot of polish. I mean, you have Dinklage first of all, great, amazing star power. For what this is, I mean, it's a Troma movie with Elijah Wood, Kevin Bacon, Peter Dinklage. Who am I missing? Jacob Tremblay, who's a really great, young actor. No, it was, I thought the cinematography was really good. The production design was awesome. There's a lot of stuff I noticed happening in the background all the time. Like in his apartment, there's like this blinking red light that's happening across the street. It's like subtly expanding the world. Whereas
nice touches.
Yeah, like these little, like the guys, I was noticing this, especially in the first act, there is always something happening in the background.
Yeah.
Like that's hard to coordinate when you are trying to give a performance and focus on this character, and you have gags happening in the background that are never like the point of the scene, like a Naked Gun or, an airplane or something where it's like those overtake what the scene is.
Yeah.
They were just there in the background just to be there. And I thought that was cool. It gave it a lot of texture.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys something about Jacob Tremblay?
Mm-hmm.
So wasn't there a movie where he played a deformed kid?
Oh, yeah.
Wonder.
Okay.
Yeah. So that kid doesn't exist in real life, right? That was just makeup?
Yes, we just watched him in a movie, and he was not wearing an astronaut.
So, I'm going to admit this to you guys. I thought that's what that kid actually looked like.
So he was the Toxic Avenger.
So that's why I thought he was the Toxic Avenger, and I was like, that's a really great idea to save money.
You thought they did not?
Well, because didn't he go on a press tour where he was in the costume?
I think so.
Dude, I swear to God, I saw that dude, the Winter Soldier, walking around with a deformed kid.
So, okay, first off, hold on. You were conflating 2 movies.
Yes.
There's Wonder, where Jacob Tremblay is a little boy who's born with a facial deformity, and kids are mean to him, and Greg Kinnear's his dad, I think, and he wears a helmet so that he can cover his face.
It was Owen Wilson, I think.
Owen Wilson, something like that, right? You're conflating that with Sebastian Stan, who's in a movie called A Different Man, where he's an actor, and then he meets this guy who has this like rare skin thing, so his face is kind of deformed.
So that dude is really like that.
And then they switch lives and bodies, right? And then,
but not Sebastian Stan. There's another actor,
a real guy who has this rare condition. They just switch. They do like a face-off.
He was in the film Under the Skin as well, if you've ever seen that. This really reminds me of this like classic story with me and my friends, where I had a fever dream that Mike Piazza had died. This was like 10 years ago. This is like a notorious story that we always tell. So we're hanging around playing cards one night, and I was like, "Oh shit! Did you guys hear about Mike Piazza?" They're like, "Huh?" They're like, "Yeah, what happened to him?" I said, "Well, he died." Like, they just went with it. The yes and me. And they're like, well, how did he die? And I said, suicide.
You thought Mike Piazza killed himself?
Yes, because I was hungover and I had fallen asleep with Outside the Lines playing, because we just had ESPN all the time. I don't know how. I had dreamt that Mike Piazza had retired and then had tried to get a sex change. And then his transition wasn't accepted by the sports community, and therefore committed suicide. And I thought this really happened. And these fuckers just went with me on it.
That's awesome.
So I am so pissed this isn't real, because that would be the best 30 for 30 ever.
That's what I thought it was like a 30 for 30 was happening. I was convinced that this happened.
You could call it like Big Wood, the Mike Piazza kills himself story. Right? He's trying to get his huge dong.
Anyway, so
that is incredible.
I don't know where the Jacob Tremblay thing came from.
Now it's hard to go back to talking about Toxic Avenger after this.
Well, dude, so imagine me. I'm sitting there the entire movie. I'm like, man, this Jacob Tremblay kid's freaking amazing.
That's like me watching Mike Piazza at the ESPYs. Like, what the hell? How is this? Is it a hologram?
It's a plant.
That's not a real person.
It's like how Biden was not a real guy. He got replaced. And Avril Lavigne, they have a whole factory where they do this, right?
Yeah.
That motherfucker's not real.
So you thought they did non-person with a medical condition makeup on him in the first half, and then the second half they
I had no clue that the kid that was
he didn't know that he was.
I didn't think that was Jacob Tremblay. Yeah. I thought the Toxic Avenger was Jacob Tremblay.
Oh, you thought that was the kid with the black nails? You're like, that's just some actor I've never heard of.
Right.
Yeah, because I've never watched any of his movies.
That's insane.
Except for there was whatever.
Dr. Sleep. You've seen
Dr. Sleep. Yes, that's right.
Jesus, I feel like I'm getting at both barrels. I'm just getting hit with fucking bizarre observations.
So I was kind of disappointed at the end. But then I looked up who actually played him, and it's some lady, right? I forget her name, Alina something, played the Toxic Avenger.
Oh, the actor?
Nice.
Oh, I'm not sure.
It was a great performance. I'll take this to wrap it up. I don't feel like there's a ton to dig in on this movie. I thought the cast was great. I really liked the first act, and I was sad when it turned into a just superhero thing. It was kind of like a Troma-style comedy superhero thing. Yeah. But I thought at the end, like when he's in the wheelchair, right? And Tremblay comes out and like gives him a hug, and he's like, oh, you called me dad. Like those beats were still there.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like they showed me this great meal, right? Mm-hmm. Or like when you're in a restaurant and you order something on a fly and you're like, this might be good. And it comes and you're like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And everyone else at the table ordered like the thing that you really wish. Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like for me. I never lost interest. I enjoyed the whole movie. But it's one of those...
Good appetizer,
right?
Not
like
a great
when I was
entree.
younger, a Troma movie was more nourishing to what I was at that age. This one, it's like when that stuff started kind of piling in, I was like, oh, I didn't know they could do the other thing.
Don't you think your kids would dig this one, though?
Yeah, for sure. My kids will fucking love this movie.
Like most teenagers, I think, are going to dig this.
Oh, dude, I think if you had showed this to me when I was 12, this would have been like my favorite movie.
Yeah.
I totally get that. And again, I do think this is a movie that's going to find a hardcore following. Like, I think this will be one of those has like a really ravenous cult audience movies, for sure. And Troma's always been that.
Yeah.
So this isn't so unlike what it was birthed from. I thought overall, I'd give it like a 3.5 out of 5. It was just a really fun time at the theater. And again, I guess I'm grading them harder because they showed me they could have made a better movie.
Yeah.
But it was still a great movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a great movie, but it was...
Well, again, every time when we go to a theater on a Wednesday night, just do something for me. Yeah. And this movie did. Don't like fucking try the pretentious like big thing and fuck it up.
I think this was a well-done movie.
This movie knew exactly who it was aiming
It was
for.
RoboCop light.
Yeah, even if the marketers don't know how to nail it, this movie knew who the audience they're reaching for was.
But even to be in the same, bracket as RoboCop, because RoboCop's kind of a masterpiece.
RoboCop's better than almost every movie.
It's better than almost every movie.
I mean, RoboCop to me is a top 20 movie of all time.
So, RoboCop Light's a compliment.
Yeah, that's a compliment.
I'd say so, except, I don't know, I would still have liked for it to have its own voice somewhat. I don't know that it did. I think
its voice was just like...
It's hard in a remake.
Kid who's really into Monty Python, right?
Yeah.
Like, just the constant, like, little dumb fucking jokes. And, again, I think the voice of this one that makes it unique is that it actually had a human edge. Which no Troma movie has any humanity in it, it feels like. And I like that. And Lloyd got his cameo at the end,
He got his little Stan Lee.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, right? Seeing him, because he was always, like... the Stan Lee knockoff, like the trash cinema Stan Lee.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was kind of cool to see him get his little cameo at the end. He's like, this is garbage.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute, man. I liked
it.
It
was great.
All right, so let's get to the most messed up moment. I want to go first because I'm afraid you guys will take it.
Okay.
By far the most messed up moment in this movie to me that made no sense, but I loved it, is when she's tracking down the giant chicken behemoth.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And takes him down. And
what the fuck
and he's
was
like,
that?
where's my kid? And he pulls the chicken head off. And it is this little eraser head baby head. It's like, he's a Chud fella. Or whatever.
The voice.
Yeah,
you know who it looked like?
And I was like, what the fuck? It looked like Quado from Total Recall.
It did.
Yeah, you're right.
It was Quado head.
got to see a lot of Verhoeven
and
references
that was like one of those weird things they just put in the middle, and I was like, what? We're just not going to
acknowledge. It did kind of
acknowledge
stop all the momentum.
the baby head? Like,
I laughed my ass off.
Oh,
I
was
great.
fucking rolling in my seat. That was my favorite.
But it made me feel kind of bad for him. Like, man, this little kid has to like join this gang.
He is trying to kill everyone in this movie.
I know, but is he
Very
actually
violent.
trying to kill
Is
him?
he a kid with a man's body, like a master blaster? Like, is he more master or more blaster?
Or is it a cursed chicken head?
Because remember in Mad Max when they ripped the mask off and he's like like a little baby?
Yeah, you
and
feel
you
bad
realize
for him.
like the little guy in the steampunk goggles was the bad one? This was kind of a master blaster thing, and it shocked it legitimately, like the only thing in the movie that caught me off guard, and I was stunned.
And he's the only one they didn't kill, right?
No, they didn't kill him.
Yeah, so he's still out there.
Because she's like...
He's still out there.
Yeah. All right, Sam, what was the most messed up moment in Toxic Avenger?
So, my most messed up part was during the concert scene when he whaps the top of the lead singer's head off.
Yes.
I don't know why. I found this super disturbing. It looks so stupid. The CGI was bad. But for some reason, I was just like, man, that's just disturbing. And the fact that he was still alive and he was like coughing up blood.
His tongue's flopping around.
He's like,
no, that was the first
That was
killer.
the terrorist in the restaurant. So the guy gets the top of
That-
his head.
Oh, you're right.
That's
you're right.
another good one.
Like a Ray Liotta in Hannibal, and he's just on his hands and knees, and it's just leaking
But
blood
I think
out.
the more, and I've thought way too much about this, but I think the whole point was the dude didn't have any brains, so that didn't kill him.
Because the brain never fell out.
The brain, so
The
it's
brain
like,
never fell out, just blood.
yeah, I don't know. I just found that very disturbing. So good job on that, Macon.
Mr. Macon.
You're on a
Mr.
first
Macon.
name basis now?
Is that his first name?
Is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Macon Blair.
Oh yeah,
boom.
The director.
Blair, Mr. Blair. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Blair. Heath, what was the most messed up moment in Toxic Avenger?
I mean, look, any of those beats could be contenders. I do like the one that you stole. That was
the
probably
baby head's
the
the
best.
best.
I'll take the little like rip off of the substance where they are extracting the goo or whatever toxic goo out of him 3 times in a row. It's like run it again, where Kevin Bacon's trying to get the serum. Yeah.
Well, that also ended in a really funny joke where they're trapped and he's like, I gotta pee. And he's like, wait a sec, I gotta get my dick out. And his little
I gotta get my dick out.
And she goes, I swear to God, if you're a pervert. And he's like, no, I'm not a pervert. Hold on, I gotta piss on my face. That made me laugh.
Yeah, but it was like, if we do this again, it could kill him, Yeah. It's like, fuck it, run it again. Who cares?
She's just like, don't be a pervert.
Yeah. He's like, hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah,
Run it
but
again.
no, them running it, he's just, and they come back and like, this one has this. He's like, run it again. And they just cut to the exact same beats.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
But then we find out he could have broken out at any time if he really wanted to.
Well, if he had to pee.
Right.
If he was you, you'd be impossible to hold down if you were a Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, there'd be no floors anywhere.
Yeah, overall, I honestly, this is not close to being in the same league as the first one.
Nah.
Right? The first one achieves dramatically more than this one.
On a much smaller scale.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's a smaller movie that has grown in lore because of how fucking wild and unique.
But
and
it's actually
interesting it was.
really good, dude.
That's what I said. I love the first
It's actually
one
really
still.
well done.
This one to me is like kind of a fun cartoon reinterpretation of that. Right. It has no teeth. But I actually don't mind that it's not as mean-spirited, right? Like a Terrifier version of this movie, I don't know does anything for me.
Yeah.
I kind of like the way they went at it. Right?
Yeah, it's not hard to watch at all.
No, it's just fun. It's like a fun, goofy thing. And again, it's just steeped in all of this genre element that makes it really fun.
It just makes it tough when he becomes the Toxic Avenger. You can't do the things that the original Toxic Avenger did because we've set him up with so much like pathos.
Yes.
That you don't want to turn that character into a monster. Yeah.
Also, I was realizing one of the things I liked about the first one was you don't see his face till like a third through the movie. And then he finally flips around, and it's like a big thing.
Yeah, well, when it's Melvin originally, right? He's just like, like he's out of control. You can't wait for that guy to be out of the movie, and so you're not losing anything.
And that's the difference with this one.
That is a big difference.
Toxie becomes a character after he's melted.
You
this is the exact
hated
opposite.
to lose Peter Dinklage.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
I'm actually watching the new season of Dexter, and Dandino makes fun of me mercilessly for how shitty Dexter is. I've always just loved it, and Dinklage is in the new season.
Is he?
As this like billionaire who's like obsessed with serial killers, and he's fucking incredible. In my world, just give me all the Peter Dinklage all the time.
Well, dude, has Peter Dinklage made a bad movie? I can't even think of one.
I'm sure he has, but he's probably never given a bad performance.
Did you guys ever see The Station Agent?
Yeah,
Oh,
love that movie.
That's one of the first I think that's the first time I ever.
That's the first time
I
I ever saw it.
think that
Yeah.
was his like big movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a great film.
His biggest movie he was in was probably Elf. He has like a really small cameo
Is he
in
really?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember because Buddy the elf keeps calling him an elf, and he jumps the table and beats the shit out of him.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
Dinklage. Clearly, Game of Thrones will be his like. That'll be the first
In
line
Bruges.
of the
No,
Bruges?
that's not.
Oh.
He's not in Bruges. Dinklage is not in Bruges.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Is he not?
He's not.
Hold on.
He's not. Do you think they all look the same?
Oh my god, dude!
Who is
Edit
it then?
this out. No, Sam thought they all looked the same. I was just excited to hear In Bruges, so it's Sam who will get in trouble.
Dude, I might have to call you out on
But
that.
no, I just think he's one of the best actors we have going today.
Oh, totally.
And I'll be
agree.
excited to watch it. And again, I think this is a great Dinklage performance, man.
Are we waiting to have Sam be proven wrong?
There's nothing better on a podcast than just dead air.
So
of Sam
he's
Dinklage.
the dude's friend that brings the prostitutes.
Boom.
Dinklage is?
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
No,
think,
he's not. That's
do you
not
think
Dinklage.
they all look alike?
Who is it? Okay, hold on. I'm looking at it.
Exactly. Don't say that you know the answer before
I
you
thought
actually
you
find
said
it
I didn't
out.
say I know the answer. I just say
I thought
he's that dude.
I know the character you're talking about. That's not played by Peter Dinklage.
Oh my god.
Well, this is captivating.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go ahead and start the outro while we look this up.
Yeah, go for it.
So, guys, we hope you enjoyed Toxic Avenger. Go support movies in the theater. Make sure you go to Misfit Parade's YouTube page. Subscribe there. Video versions of pods. Lots of fun stuff. Sam and Heath and I are working on an all-time best movie kill list.
Jordan Prentice is that
Oh,
character.
Sam.
Not
Oh my god.
Well, Sam did also
Dinklage.
say
I'm
that
sorry, Jordan.
Sam also did say he thought Jacob Tremblay had a horrible deformity. So I think
I
Sam
couldn't
might
trust
just...
Sam with
Sam
our
might just be
casting.
face blind.
Yeah.
I've got the Brad Pitt disease, dude.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I see Sam, Brad Pitt, in the form of a portfolio calculator. Make sure you go to the Messed Up Movies Podcast Patreon page. The best way to support the show. Make your voice heard. Get awesome stuff. We're out of here. We've got nothing left. Bye.